Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 11 of the Gilded City. I know it's a lot of episodes,
Can't
guys.
count. I can't get that high anymore.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Sam's got it. If you've been enjoying the show so far, please let us know by leaving us a comment, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting that bell icon.
What?
I know, crazy. Follow the podcast, share the video podcast with anybody you think will like it. Any support you can give us really means a lot to us. Thank you. Also, I believe next week is going to be next week, as of this episode going live, is going to be the premiere of the special one-shot all about Janara's time while she was gone during the events of episode 8.
June 28th.
June 28th, yes. So if you want to see the one-shot, that'll be the episode for June 28th. We had a lot of fun making that one shot and doing the characters for it, and we're really excited for all of you to see it. But with that, I don't think we have anything else. So we're going to go ahead and jump into tonight's episode. Last time, after Artemis stole a ledger during the party's first foray into Bloodkeith corporate offices, the building was put on high alert. Luckily, everyone in the party was able to escape, seemingly without drawing any additional attention on themselves. Gathering together that evening, the party discussed the contents of the ledger, which contained clues about widespread embezzlement occurring at Bloodkeith Textiles. Making their plans for the next steps, Janara revealed that she had left a message for one of the security guards at the building, Brian, under the guise of asking him to meet her for a date the following evening. Making plans for everyone to be in or near the bar during the date in case things went wrong, the party called their meeting to a close, with Bowman continuing to think about next steps with Snack's request regarding Arnold Hathaway. So, that is where we left off. We're going to go ahead and pick up the next day. It is now the 23rd of Deep Winter. I believe Janara had left a note asking Brian to meet her at Freedom's Bar, Stevedore Stein's.
Not
dinner.
Freedom's Bar, Sanctuary's.
Sanctuary's Bar. Thank you. Yep. Sorry. Sanctuary's Bar for dinner this evening. So, you've got that coming up. Also, Octavia, I believe you are in possession of the ledger at this time. So, is there anything anyone wanted to do before the bar? Yes. Okay.
I sent a message to Freedom, remember, trying to get information on Brian before I met with him.
Yes. And she said she would see what she could find and reach out to you if she was able to find anything. So I'll actually roll for that. But while I'm rolling for that, Octavia, what was it that you wanted to do during the day?
So I got those 4 books that were the ones that were on Ovina's bookshelf that looked red. I would like to read through those as much as I can, just to get an understanding of like what was she reading
Gotcha.
frequently.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So you spend most of the day reading, you know, sort of perusing through these books, just trying to get a general sense of what the deal is with these books. You know, the economics book is, I mean, it's just that, right? It's an economics book. It's not anything super interesting. But you know, it's got economic theories and ideas, and you know, just a lot of business lingo. So nothing super fascinating there. But kind of makes sense that a business person would have a book like that in their office. The other sort of very, very large tome, Patterns of Interaction, is also so the one we were just talking about is at a very macro scale economics, right? Talking about large corporate things, that sort of thing. Patterns of Interaction, I would say, is sort of a microeconomics examination of how individuals interact with each other and goods and services exchange, that sort of thing. You know, this is, again, makes sense that she would have a book like that in her office. So that's, I mean, these tomes, both of those tomes are, you know, very dry, not super interesting. The other 2 books are, I believe, reminds me which other 2 books I told you about, because
The one that doesn't have a name is important, but I don't have that yet. That's the history of Mirabar and the history of the Bloodkith Bam.
okay. So yes, again, not too out there in terms of what you might expect to see. History of Mirabar gives you some context about where Ovina's family is originally from. Mirabar is a city pretty far to the north, sort of just south of the of the mountains called the Spine of the World, and it's a really interesting city because it's got a surface city, the surface city of Mirabar, which is predominantly human, though there are lots of dwarves who live there. But then underneath the surface city is an extensive network of caverns that the dwarves call home. You know, the caverns beneath with the dwarven city there have long been sort of a major dwarven settlement, and important to the dwarves. And many times over the years, you know, Mirabar has been attacked and raided and that sort of thing. This is a really old it's got a lot of ancient history, but since the foundation of the Sword Coast Federation, Mirabar has been pretty stable. But certainly it, especially by the end of the book, you get the sense that the author is saying, yeah, it's a really cool city with lots of interesting dwarven history in it. Its glory days are behind it, sort of deal, is the sense you get. Then the history of the Bloodkeith family. The Bloodkeiths are noted. This book does seem to have been commissioned by a prominent member of the Bloodkeith clan many years ago. But it is a book detailing, just a family lineage, a family of excellent smiths and metal workers who for many centuries made excellent weapons and armor for the proud dwarven defenders of the city of Mirabar. But as the age of metal armor began to fade, it brilliantly, the family began investing in new and upcoming technologies, especially Ovina's father, who, of course, transitioned the company into Bloodkeith Textiles. So it's a pretty, I mean, it's very much like a this is the glorious history of our family, but there's nothing super juicy in there. That said, given that this book and the History of Mirabar are both books that Ovina seemed to frequent in her office, does strike you as it tells you something about her personality. I'll put it that way. But I will allow you to draw whatever conclusions you would like to make about what that means about her personality. And then there is, of course, the fifth book, which, yes, you don't have a name of. So.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Freedom rolled an 8 for finding information on Brian.
Can I use luck so that she re-rolls?
Sure. That's better. So 13. So still not phenomenal, but better than an 8. Yeah, Janara, I would say probably about middle of the day. Freedom actually comes to your manor. Janara, do you mind if I come in real quick?
Of course.
She comes inside. She is wearing sort of her patchy suit clothing today. Her dark hair with the green ends is pulled back into a pretty tight braid today, which is not how you usually seen her, but otherwise she's wearing her normal clothes and all that. I did my best to find some information about this security guard named Brian. Not necessarily a ton to go on, but he's been working for the Zentarum for a while, if I found the right person. He's been working for the company for quite a few years, but has never risen above just a normal sort of security position. He's never earned any sort of promotion, despite his long tenure of service with the company.
Okay.
He, from what little I was able to find, again, if this is the correct Brian, competent, likely competent, but not particularly astounding in his skill set. As for any other personal information I could find on him, there's not much to say. He seems to live alone, doesn't have any family that lives in the city that I'm aware of, that I was able to find anyway. So.
Would I have a pretty good idea about how much he probably makes at his job?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Oh, 16.
16. You could ballpark it as he probably makes I don't know, probably about give or take somewhere between 30 to 50 talents a week, a 10-day. And, you know, once you subtract bills from that in terms of disposable income, he probably has, you know, an okay amount of just, he would be middle class. Not upper middle class, but certainly not poor. But that's your best guess based on where he's working and what line of work he's in.
Okay. We're all going to the bar tonight, right? That's the plan.
Every single night at a bar.
I think I kind of want, like, I don't want it to, it's not supposed to be a date. I just wanted him to meet me, obviously.
Mhm.
I kind of want, like, at least maybe two of you to actually, like, meet him with me and have the other people around. Does that make sense? Because I want to get information from him, and I'm thinking of bribing him in order to do so. And
yeah, I mean, you all could always, I would say that you know, since you are all planning on being at the bar while Janara is meeting with Brian, assuming he shows up.
right. He might not even show up.
I would say you would all probably meet there, you know, shortly beforehand anyway, to sort of come up with the game plan. So if we want to move on to that, we can move on to that, and you can come up with the game plan in character, unless there's anything else anybody wanted to do during the day before this evening.
Very quickly run by textiles and just see if anything's crazy, but not too much investigating.
As you're passing by in the street, make a perception check for me.
Ooh, I think that's a +4. I think it's 23.
23. You do notice as you're passing by the front door that there are a couple of additional security officers stationed right by the front doors.
Do any of them look like a Brian?
The 23, yeah, one of them could be a Brian.
Hell yeah. Okay, great.
Roll for Brian.
A D100.
Is this a work day?
Yes.
Okay. While I'm at the Waterdeep Times, could I pull through articles that may mention the Zentarum?
Zentarm, yeah. You could go down to the company archives. Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
That was a nat 20. Sorry.
Oh my
That
god.
that was a stupid thing to get a nat 20 on, but when you never roll above a 10, that's super exciting.
We love the archives.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going through old newspaper articles and you're able to build by looking at a bunch of old newspaper articles between there's advertisements, there's, investigative pieces, there's sort of interviews with people, you're able to find a lot of things because the Zentarum is a very large company, been around for a really long time, but they've always been, they've been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. But they've always been a somewhat controversial company. So there is a lot that you could find about them in the archives at the newspaper. With the natural 20,
Particularly, I'm looking for. I remember hearing something about police brutality recently.
yeah. So with a natural 20, you're going to get that. Let me just read you my overview of the faction from my notes.
Okay.
A natural 20 gets you that. The Zentarum are the largest private security and detective agency in the Sword Coast Federation, being contracted by many different organizations, including corporations, government agencies, police departments, and so on. The Zentarum are willing to play dirty, and so are often used to enforce the order of things when a little bit of law bending or breaking has to be employed. Particularly common is large corporations employing them to spy on potential unionizers, breaking strikes, and so on. It is also not uncommon for wealthy folks to hire the Zentarum to do particular jobs on their behalf or provide defense for homes or private property. The Zentarum have acquired a great deal of wealth and power by operating within the framework of the current world order. While not above breaking the law to get their jobs done, they are certainly more in favor of maintaining the current world order as it stands. Nearly all agents of the Zentarum are paid well enough to be able to vote, and indeed, if one can prove themselves skilled and loyal enough, regardless of social class of birth, joining the Zentarum is one way to climb the social ladder. One interesting side note is that the Zentarum operate across national boundaries and indeed offer their services to many other governments aside from merely the Sword Coast Federation.
So like they special.
So, and then in particular, you were interested in learning about brutality. There is clear evidence of that, particularly in several cities, including Neverwinter. Actually, the Zentarum was embroiled. Neverwinter is a city farther up north along the coast, and another major manufacturing and shipping center. The Zentarum were employed to attempt to break a major strike in the shipping yards up in Neverwinter. And they were very nearly successful, but they were they engaged in particularly controversial behavior in the attempt to break the strike, to the point that eventually the city government actually stepped in and did something, if only because of mounting public pressure. And stopped Zentarum from fully breaking the strike. But you do see that the Zentarum, for instance, employed ogres as part of their strike breaker units. That is the main thing with brutality that is confirmed to be true, but there's many rumors of the Zentarum going beyond the pale of what would typically be considered acceptable in order to get the job done, but nothing provable enough to get them into any legal trouble. Even what happened in Neverwinter did not result in any major legal action against the Zentarum as a company, aside from basically a slap on the wrist.
Also, anything about like where their headquarters are stationed, or how hierarchy works there?
Yeah. So each sort of region has its own, basically branch of the Zentarum that oversees it. So Waterdeep would have its own branch of the Zentarum, but the high ups of the company, the like main headquarters of this multinational corporation are located outside of the Sword Coast Federation. So the main multinational headquarters is located really, really far east, basically, along the inner sea. But with that being said, there is a Waterdeep headquarters. So
Would I know who like the chief of the Waterdeep branch would be?
yeah, with a natural 20, I would say you do. The head of the Waterdeep branch of the Zentarum is a tiefling man named Success.
Artemis hasn't even gotten that far. Name of Success.
Okay, cool.
Anybody else have anything? All right.
I'm going to run and take out more money.
Okay.
Quick.
Yeah. Go for it. Do you remember what your weekly limit is?
It was like a loose limit, right?
Yes. But your weekly limit is
It's like 200 or 300, I think.
I think it was 300.
300.
I'm gonna take out all 300 then.
Okay. All right. Great. So you all gather up at Stevedore Stein's Sanctuary's bar. I would say about an hour before you agreed to, you agreed before you had asked Brian to meet you. So you all gather up. You have a free Sanctuary brings you a round of drinks. Says, oh, here you are, Janara dear and friends. Let me know if you need anything. And then he nods and moves off.
I'm going to disguise myself.
Okay. Yeah.
So, what are we wanting to get out of him? How do we want to do this? Play this.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay? Janara meets Brian at the front, drink in hand, looking gorgeous, ready to go. Brian is flabbergasted, a little charmed. They start having a drink. Janara accidentally spills the drink on Brian. Oh my gosh, Brian, I'm so sorry. Lucky for me, I know the owner and have access to the back room. Here, come with me. Maybe a little flirty. Brings him to the back room. Who's in the back room? The rest of us. Lock the door. Interrogation starts.
I don't hate it.
I don't
Sounds
hate
really
it.
good.
Here's the thing. I have no problem with breaking the law. That's not the thing. This guy's just some schmuck. Like, he's not anyone particular. We're just gonna be beating up some dude.
We could do that plan though and not actually like beat him up. We could just
ask him questions.
like I said, we could just ask him questions and I can bribe him with money.
Yeah.
We could just get him to let us in. Also,
Also,
For that.
we come across the interesting thing of, I mean, as we have figured out, there are people that can find out who another person is in this city, right? If we start going around beating people up, it's not that hard to find me or identify me. I am quite unique.
Well, I'm wondering if people who can't disguise themselves or be. I wonder if maybe you should stand guard.
I can. Is there someone currently playing music?
Not currently.
I can stand close by.
I can
Create
sit
the
in the corner.
ambiance as needed.
I can sit in the corner and pretend to write.
I can.
Although I do want other people to ask questions. I don't want to be, unless you want to tell me what you want me to ask, but I don't know if I'll remember everything. I mean, player Eva can write down ideas.
That's true.
Well,
I'm.
knows my face, so I don't know if that would be better or worse if I were me.
You know, that's what I'm wondering. I guess I don't actually have. Well, maybe I should disguise myself at least for the beginning.
Maybe until you can get a read on him.
Yeah.
Could you disguise me?
I can.
think so.
I have a way with words.
I have. I'm good at disguise kits. Can I disguise myself and others? I actually
Yeah.
don't think I've ever done that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
could
I-
probably do that for all of you then.
Yeah, I mean, a disguise. It's all about how much time you have, right? So, but a disguise kit is sort of. I mean, it's basically stage makeup.
Right.
So with a generous use of stage makeup and good technique, right, you can pretty dramatically change someone's appearance, depending obviously on how well you roll.
So why don't I just do that for everyone?
Well, I can disguise myself.
Okay.
I can also just disguise myself.
Okay. Well, for whoever needs me to.
If you could give me a beard, I've never been able to grow one, so that would be really nice.
It's not surprising.
Lots of mascara
That's
on the chin.
The beard really does make the man.
true. I wish to be a man.
I don't have disguise magic, so you can disguise me. I don't want a beard though.
Give her a beard. Give her a beard. I cast message. Give her a beard.
Wasting a spell slot for that.
That's a cantrip. I can do that all day.
Okay. I actually don't hate that plan. I think that's a pretty good plan.
All right. Something tells me the two of us can be very persuasive for if you need backup.
So I'll let Sanctuary know we're going to use one of the back rooms.
So are we all going in? Are people standing guard?
I'll stand guard just to make sure we just
People can fit in the room.
yeah.
We hang within earshot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And just in case if he brings, a bunch of security friends and it ends up being bad.
Brian, Ryan, and Tom.
We can take him. We'll handle it.
Right.
We are incredible. We just pulled off something remarkable. I mean, we didn't pull off anything. I don't know what I'm talking about.
He's drunk already, I say to the crowd.
There's not that many people in just
Awesome.
yet, though it is starting to pick up.
Because clearly I always understand exactly what it is we're doing and not doing. What are we looking for this time? What information are we trying to get out of Brian?
I think it would be best if we can get him to help us.
Yeah.
In
Access to
Getting
rooms,
into the
security
building,
codes,
security codes,
schedules, times people are in and out, list of
How to
people who
hand-
work there.
how to handle a troll.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting-
I think
I don't
I'm
know
just
about
going to
you.
give him a very generous sum of money for his assistance
Mhm.
and his discretion.
Hold on. Great, that is very helpful. I know Bowman looked very confused.
Sanctuary, could I have another one, please? On Artemis, of course.
Sure.
Right away. Comes back, gives you another drink.
All right.
Thank you.
Great. Well then,
Okay.
Janara, make me less beautiful.
So who's going in the room?
I think
Yeah.
everybody.
Except for
Me.
you. And I want you, if that's okay, to just be nearby, keeping an eye.
Oh, I'll be behind the door.
Okay.
All right.
So
Oh, right.
just again, DM recap so that I understand what's going on. Bowman is going to wait outside the room.
Yep.
And just stand guard there.
Yep.
Shannara and Artemis, both in disguise, will meet Brian when he first arrives, then arrange to get him into the back room where everybody else is waiting. Is that what's
Yeah.
happening?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Do you think he's gonna get overwhelmed with how many of us there are?
Can we get nachos or a plate of food that we can put in the room so it's less intimidating because he walks in, there's food. It's more of a party, less of an
Oh.
interrogation.
How big is the room that we are going to take him into?
It's just a broom closet.
We're all sitting on buckets.
Nachos?
Yeah.
It's probably not a super large room.
It's you would probably know, Janara, that Sanctuary doesn't necessarily have a large room to use.
Yeah.
Right.
Do we?
You're using like a basically a small storage room.
Great. Do we need a room? Because what if we? I like that. If we got like, if we've got nachos. Sorry. If we've got nachos, whatever. If we've got nachos and like we could play the thing of like we are a little elite like group of people confidently sitting in the back booth.
Yeah, what if I just say I have some friends I want him to meet when I bring him, and I bring him over to like a less crowded corner where everyone is sitting?
As long as it's like
And I have luck available if I roll shitty.
Well, since you know, you could ask for the area to be kept cleared.
Yeah.
Just
Oh no, I know. More to get him to follow me.
yeah.
I might have
Yeah.
less luck.
Okay.
All
Should
right.
we do that instead?
Bowman will still stay just in earshot, just because Bowman is big. Bowman is big and would take up most of the booth.
I
Also
like that Bowman
very-
is talking in third person.
Yeah.
Bowman is
Also-
big.
also intimidating. He may get the wrong idea if we have our full force out.
Bowman's had 2 drinks at this point.
He's good.
He's good.
All right. So we get him to the group and we just try to convince him to help us because he's not getting anywhere from what you found out from your intel. He's not getting anywhere in his career. He might be able to be swayed to help us get into the financial records, get into the building, unleash a troll.
Mhm.
I've so got this mission, guys.
Do we have anything that we can offer? No, besides money.
I feel like worst case I could offer him a job at my mansion as like my head of security, even though Joyce could probably take him.
Yeah.
I like that. Flawless. This is gonna be perfect.
Octavia be Octavia or somebody else though?
Hmm.
You were
Maybe something
already
else unless
asking
we-
questions about like the security and like how it works. So he might maybe if you came into the picture as Octavia after the questions started being asked.
Good vibe. Yeah.
How
Yeah, I think
about
it-
instead I will sit at the bar, which is within 30 feet of the table, and then I can like listen.
Yeah,
You can mind speak questions.
that's true. You can
Hmm.
message questions.
Bowman will sit at the same next to Octavia.
Okay.
Well, also exits of the bar is how many exits are in the bar in case he tries to run.
There's the front door, and then you assume there's a back exit somewhere, behind the kitchen, but nowhere.
Oh, I'm going to tell Sanctuary to have someone at the back exit and to not let this guy leave. Can I do that?
You go talk to him, and he says, well, I still haven't hired a new bouncer yet, so,
Can I give someone like 20 pounds to just stand there for an hour?
well, I mean, he'd have to push past me to get back into the kitchen in the first place. Anyway, he'd have to he'd have to get behind the bar,
Okay.
then push
Okay.
past me back into the kitchen. I can tell the kitchen staff to, if anybody
Of
comes
themselves.
through, try to
If he
stop.
gives you
Stab them
trouble, I'll
with a
pay
knife.
you.
I'm sorry, what was that?
She's drunk. Don't worry.
I didn't say that.
All right, we'll do our best, Janara, dear.
Thank you. Okay.
Just a note, Octavia is gonna do disguise self, but like not strong change everything.
Okay.
Change hair color to blonde instead of black,
Okay.
and look a little bit more full elf.
Okay.
Bowman's also gonna do disguise self and will look like just a big human.
Okay. Big human dude. Great. Yeah, the two of you sit down at the end of the bar. Is anybody else disguising themselves? So Nyx is being disguised, and then Janara, you're using the disguise set kit on yourself and Artemis
And Penny?
and Penny. Okay, so that's going to be 3 disguise kit checks.
Hold on. Let me sing you a little ditty to help you out here. Look Janara in the eye. I'm gonna say, let's get beautiful, beautiful. Please make me so beautiful and add a beard, yeah.
What am
Great.
I supposed to write?
So you now have bardic inspiration as well. So you have a D6 still.
Yeah.
You have a
Yeah.
D6 that you can add to one of these ability checks. But I would say this is going to be D20 plus proficiency plus, we'll say since you're trying to do this quickly, dexterity.
Can you say that one more time? What's the math?
D20 proficiency dexterity. And then if it's bad, a bardic inspiration.
I rolled a 1.
Oh shit.
You also
Plus
have luck
2.
points.
Yes, is this for all of us?
You're gonna roll 3 times, 1 for each of you.
All right.
The beard looks awful.
That was
My
18.
It's
That's
just a
much
fool.
better.
Yep, much better.
That was 19 without any of the extra stuff.
Okay.
So it's the D6 for 1.
D6 is for 1. Yes.
2 plus 2. So it's a 6 for me. And then it's like a 20 something for the 2 of them.
It's really hard to do stage makeup on yourself for Janara without a
know.
mirror.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's an eyeliner.
So yeah, Janara, you do a really good makeup work, disguise work on Artemis and Penny. They both look very different than they normally look. Artemis has a magnificent fake beard, which it's actually really impressive what you can accomplish with just a bit of makeup. Because while a lot of times drawn on beards look just that drawn on. You did some excellent shading work to make it look real, unless you get like literally right up close to Artemis's face. Penny, did you have any notes on on how you wanted to be disguised?
No notes. I'm just
Weird.
no beard. I don't know. Maybe just like shorter hair and maybe shorter hair and.
So you're getting your hair cut?
No. You
Oh,
can
that's
do
true,
the
that's
pinning.
true, yeah.
You
No. Elaborate
pin it.
hairstyle. Pinning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your hair is done in an elaborate hairstyle, and using makeup techniques. Janara really like enhances your cheekbones and alters sort of your brow structure and all that stuff with some really elaborate makeup work. Very good. And then you realize that you're running out of time and you still haven't done anything for yourself yet, Janara. So you quickly try to change your appearance as best you can, but it's you still look very much like Janara.
I think I'm gonna bother.
You wipe it all off.
Yeah. You wipe it all off. You're like,
if I don't really look much different, I feel like I may as well use who I am.
Okay.
Advantage if I can. All right.
Great. Okay.
Nyx is a blonde halfling.
Nyx is a blonde halfling now. Great. The three of you sat up at a table, get some nachos.
I'm not at the table.
Oh, so it's Penny and Artemis are at the
I
table.
will be at the table, but I am not there yet.
Where are you currently?
I am by the door.
Okay.
Side eye.
Okay. Janara, you go to wait outside to see if this Brian from security arrives.
I'm assuming they told me what he looks like.
Yeah, I would say you would have gotten a good description of him.
What if we get the wrong Brian?
We get Brian from accounting. That might be better, actually.
Pretty
You'd
sure
have
it's
more
security.
I'm gonna roll to see if he shows up.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Show up.
can I inspire you, DM?
43 minutes into the thing and like
Yeah.
show up.
That's a 19, which is pretty good.
That mean he's coming?
So you're waiting outside Janara, and it doesn't take, it hits the agreed upon time exactly. And at this point, somebody does approach the bar. Human man. He is 30s or 40s, probably, as Octavia described. Nothing super remarkable about his appearance. He's got sort of salt and pepper hair. He is wearing sort of casual clothes as he approaches. Brian is maybe a silver fox, to answer the question that Artemis is asking with his "Are They Hot?" book. Brian approaches and says that. Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to be, and he pulls out a slip of paper, Victoria?
That's the name I gave you. It's not my name. I'm Janara. I'm hoping you would be willing to come and meet some friends of mine. I've heard quite a bit about you.
Make a persuasion check.
Good persuasion. 17?
Well, color me interested. Who am I to turn down an invitation from a strange woman?
All right. I'll lead him inside.
As they go inside, I'm just gonna pick his pockets.
Make a sleight of hand check.
God.
I'm so happy.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Poor
God.
Brian.
What did he bring to the date?
He passes in through the door. Nyx, you very quickly yoink. Pull a wallet out of his pocket. and stuff it into your clothes. And you could go through it. I would say probably not right this second.
I'm gonna wait a second.
But you have his wallet now,
Yep.
and you can go through that later. Actually, I would even say with a natural 20, you also pull a pocket watch off of him.
Solid.
Because it's a natural 20.
Yeah. Is there anything else in that pocket?
No.
How many pockets does it look like he has?
You're not gonna get 6 natural 20s.
Yeah. He doesn't seem to have a whole lot of excess on him.
Okay.
You got his wallet, which definitely has money in it, and you got his pocket watch, which looks fairly nice.
As I was like
Possibly a family heirloom.
going past him, did it look like he had a weapon on him anywhere?
Perception check.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah. 7.
Not that you could tell. Janara, you lead him over to the booth at the back of the room where Penny and Artemis are waiting. He sort of slides in next to Artemis, plate of notches in the middle of the table, and he looks around at the three of you and says, "So is this like a double date situation?"
Not exactly. I'm going to call Sanctuary over and I'm going to tell him that anything Brian would like to drink tonight is on me.
Oh, all right.
Mixed signals.
Don't be scared, son.
He's not.
Order the best.
Sure. Yeah, I'll have a nice scotch. Sanctuary.
Make it a double.
Right away. And he hurries off. And returns with the drinks. I must say I'm a little confused. You say this isn't a double date.
And that
You-
is when I drag a stool in and I like sit at the head of the
Oh.
table.
Hello there.
Hi.
Who are you?
Good.
Who are
Hi.
Yes, I mean, you are clearly intriguing and treating me well with food and drink, and I appreciate that, but, who are all of you?
I'm actually more interested in who you are, Brian. You work for Bloodkeith Textiles. So what brought you to that job?
Make a
I'm gonna say I'm Sheila, by the way.
Persuasion?
Make a persuasion check. However, it is going to be a disadvantage because you very quickly went to his job
That's fine. I have luck.
as a security officer at a major company.
I'd like to read his reaction
I rolled really
Get
well
inside
for
check
both.
afterwards.
So 18.
18.
Natural
The
one.
other one
I
was
don't-
going to be a 20.
Okay. With a natural one, Artemis.
I'd choke on a nacho.
Yeah, you're as Janara says that you immediately choke on a nacho, like that was abrupt.
I'm not good at this, y'all.
What was your total persuasion again, Janara? 18?
18.
He frowns slightly, but at this point, Sanctuary comes back and offers him like even more scotch, and he takes a sip and he I do work there as a security officer. I don't know why you'd be interested in that. It's not.
Well, we heard that you were so praised in accommodations that, frankly, we were wondering what you could tell us about how they How do they do it? How do they treat you so well? I'm a little curious myself, being an interested party in security. I'm wondering to know just what exactly, not the company's secrets, good heavens, but your own personal touch. What do you bring to the table, son?
Make a persuasion check for me.
I don't know why he calls everyone son, but that's the vibe he's going for.
The beard.
It's the beard.
Yeah, it's the beard. 16.
Are you like different security firm?
Oh, no, I'm simply have a couple valuable things and would like to keep them, well, would like to keep them.
This is an interview?
Let's call it getting to know one another.
Okay. He takes another sip of his drink. Well, I don't know how you heard about me in particular. No one at the company seems to, I mean, they treat me well enough, but nobody seems to treat me like I'm anything remarkable.
I look over at Janara. I say, "This is Brian that you got, right? The one we've heard about."
I know, and I know some very powerful people who said that you may be a bit underappreciated in your current position. And we were thinking that maybe you deserved something a little bit better.
Can I hear them from where I'm sitting?
You very specifically wanted to sit close enough to overhear, right?
Yeah.
So I would say yes, you were able to arrange that.
Okay, after I hear that question, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Brian.
Okay.
And see if...
Yeah, he responds, actually make a sleight of hand check, Octavia, just to not draw attention to the fact that you're casting a spell.
Nat 20.
Great. Very simple.
No flash.
Yeah.
I used my pouch spell, not my camera spell.
Yeah. He thinks for a minute and says, well, don't get me wrong, I mean, this Centaur treats me well, but I don't know, I've been working for them for a really long time, and haven't really gotten any further than just, standard security guard level. Got any real promotions. And I mean, Octavia, you get basically the same thing from his surface thoughts. He's a little disappointed that he's never advanced. He's not like super bitter, but he's just a little disappointed that he's been passed over for several promotions over the years.
Okay. I'm sorry. Can I message to Penny that information, that he's not upset with his position, just a little bit disappointed?
Yeah. Well, have you ever applied for any promotions that come up or talked to your supervisor? Like, do you want to get promoted, or are you are perfectly fine living the rest of your life as a security officer at the Bloodkeith Textile Company?
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a promotion. They come with a bit of a raise, and but I mean, I don't know. It'd be nice. I've applied for a couple of promotions. But
Mhm.
what are you gonna do?
If I can be totally honest with you, Brian, I can sympathize with you here. I mean, as middle class to someone who's kind of, if I may be frank, seems like you're kind of in an in-between state financially here. You know, you're not doing terrible, but you're not doing the best you could do. As someone who's also in like a similar state as you, I totally sympathize with it, how it can be kind of a little frustrating doing the same thing and day after day having to go to work and not being appreciated like you should be, and then working for like a couple years and you don't get promoted. Especially because it seems like the supervisors and higher ups are always making so much more money than us. And it's like, I could do that. I could sit in an office and tell people what to do every day. You know?
As she says all this, Octavia, you do get sort of from his or hers thoughts. No? You dropped the
Because
spell?
I cast message, so it ended.
Well, message
Isn't a concentration
isn't
spell.
concentration.
But detect thoughts is concentration.
But you don't, you only break concentration on a concentration spell if you cast another concentration spell.
Oh, I thought it was if I cast it.
No, it's only if you cast another concentration spell.
Okay, cool. Then
So,
yes, I was...
you get from his surface level thoughts that he sort of is listening to everything Penny is saying and says, you know, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And he seems to be coming around. Okay. So, so Brian's thoughts are sort of leading down the path that what Penny was saying about, you know, those higher up in the company makes a lot of sense. And Penny across, you know, he's sort of diagonally across the table from you. He's sort of nodding his head like, guess I didn't think about it like that.
I think that it's important to know your worth. And if you're not being treated well at somewhere that you've been for a long time, then maybe it's time to think about something else. But I mean, I guess I don't know as much of how long you've been there. You've probably only been there like, you know, a couple years, like 2, 3, or 4, right? For them to be undervaluing you?
No, I've been there quite a bit longer.
Oh.
But we don't need to rub any salt in any wounds, but I think what we might be most interested in what we're saying is, what do you think you're worth?
Do I think I'm worth? One of you make a persuasion check with advantage. Artemis or
I'll do it. Holy shit.
Is this me? Maybe it is me.
suddenly you gain kinship with Brian.
Yeah.
24.
24. Yeah, I guess I am worth more than they give me credit for. I mean, I've been a loyal company man for a long time. What haven't they?
You do everything they ask you to, right?
Yeah, I deserve a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe we need to look around at the rest of the table. Maybe we can inspire some change. Make them appreciate those that actually defend their interests so that you can get somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are some things that they've had you do that they didn't like compensate you for?
Well, I mean, make a persuasion check with advantage because everybody at the table is sort of
Oh, a natural 20.
nice. Well, I mean,
That's
Third one today.
I
my
mean,
second.
they
Fourth one.
keep a fucking troll in the building.
They do? Oh my goodness.
And I'm sure they don't pay you hazard pay, do they?
No, and you know it was it until you and look until you learn the trick with trolls, it's dangerous.
Oh, I bet.
I want to
Trolls title my new memoir.
Huh?
I want to cast
I-
again.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
It's only a minute.
Yeah. Okay. So he, as you cast it again, go ahead and roll again for sleight of hand. But
18.
okay. As you cast it again, and get sort of get sort of this second look into his surface thoughts as he's talking about the troll. You do get that like flashes of memories of his first couple times interacting with the troll and how scared he was. And now these memories now tinted with growing resentment as your friends have taken that seed of disappointment that you felt in him and began, building onto it, and making it blossom into a full tree of resentment, as it were. Yeah, he's like, yeah, until, I almost lost my arm once.
Oh my gosh.
That troll is a nasty piece of work. And they didn't tell me the first day that the troll was there that you had to have an open flame on hand to keep him.
That seems like it should be in the training manual.
You would think.
Yeah.
But no, one of the older security officers thought it was a funny prank to pull on the new guys.
Jeez.
The lack of respect. There should be a mentorship program.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing with us who that older trainee was?
He doesn't even work at the company anymore. He's
All for the best.
Theo, I think his name is. Got a cushy retirement up in somewhere else.
And I bet that's what
Upstate.
they tell you have to work towards is you're putting in all this hard work in order to get that retirement package that's promised at the end of the year. But then they just keep edging up that age that you have to be to get that retirement package.
Mm-hmm.
Can I insight check Nyx?
That's an inside check on Kelly.
You can make an insight.
Yeah, Artemis is gonna learn a lot in this conversation.
Nyx doesn't have a retirement plan, so.
Insight, all right, it doesn't, 16.
It sounds like it's based in reality, but you also, you're not sure based on what you know about Nyx that she would even have a retirement package
Sure.
at
My-
all.
Dad
Right.
does.
But it does seem based in some reality. That seems like it's a real thing that happens to some people.
She has an out-of-body experience.
Internally, Artemis is just gonna tuck that away to explore later.
Yeah.
Brian, if I can be completely honest with you, and I hate to project onto other people, so if it feels like I'm overstepping, please let me know. But it kind of seems like you're in like a toxic work environment. The way people treat you, the way you're undervalued. Even the fact that you have to ask, what am I worth, is just so heartbreaking.
Make another persuasion check at advantage.
I'm gonna pass Brian my drink.
Yeah, you slide a drink over in front of Brian. He takes a big gulp.
18.
Signal for another.
Yeah. Sanctuary varies over.
I'm gonna push the plate of nachos across to him.
Yeah,
as well.
he's like
Mm-hmm.
pounding down nachos, drinking drinks. Sanctuary brings over an extra drink to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I never really thought too much about it before, but shit, the chief, Chief Caradenal, she's been having us work crazy hours recently because something went missing. Somebody probably just misplaced it.
Those things
Happens
happen
all the time.
And why is that now on us, right? Why do we have to work crazy hours now because some idiot in finance goofed up? Why is that my fault?
Sounds like the finance guy should be doing this, not you.
It does, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what else do you know about this this thing that went missing? I mean, if there's something we can do to
He's like
take
deep,
advantage of this.
yeah, he's like deep in his drinks now. He's like, I don't fucking know. Yesterday, I guess the chief thinks some ledger or something got stolen. I wasn't even on duty. I was off at the time, and then I came in, and everybody was all tense about everything. And you know, I did my job well. I did, but I had to work the entire night. I'm not normally a night shift person.
Hmm.
And I bet they didn't give you an extended break because you probably came in at your normal time, right?
Yes.
Brian, I'm going to propose something to you. I think I'm only going to propose it once. If there was a group of individuals that could do something, change this about your situation within, get inside and fix things for you, for your coworkers, get things back on track and people like you appreciated, could you get them in?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, bitch, roll well. Hey, it loves me. Nat 20. That's 28.
Wow.
Mwah.
Sam is
We are-
doubly shocked.
We are not in combat. Remember this, okay?
Oh my god, we're gonna get the worst roll
Yep.
next
Yeah.
combat.
We're screwed next
It's
time.
been,
Next episode.
It's also been a hot minute since combat, so
That's true.
you're overdue for one.
A troll's mid TPK.
Hint, hint, DM.
No, but we got the trick now.
Just talk to Brian.
Only nat 20s when we're doing something for good.
Brian is sort of nodding, and he's like, yeah, if there was a way to change things for the better, I'd help.
But
I
the thing
bet
is,
you
we
would.
would need your discretion. But I would be happy to pay you handsomely for that.
Okay. What is it that you're asking of me? He's you worked him up to this like height, right, of emotion, and now that he's sort of coming down off of it, his brain is slowly starting to process.
It's nothing.
And he's also
Still okay.
multiple drinks in at this
Mm.
point. He's been pounding back, but especially as he's been getting more emotional. So his body is also processing the alcohol.
It's nothing huge at all. We're not asking you to just like lead us in. You would have no connection to this.
Right. We wouldn't
That's
ask
why
you.
you don't. That's why you don't really know our names, except for the one. The least you know, the best.
Yeah, we're protecting you. And we wouldn't ask you to endanger yourself. We would take on that risk for you.
Okay. So what specifically are you asking me to do?
We need information.
If there was intel on where the Bloodkeiths might be keeping their information, most important, most damaging information, now that they're on high edge, where would that be? How could it be accessed?
And not even just damaging, just like information that could help us help them make better choices when it comes to
Of
their
course.
employees.
I imagine anything of importance would be in either security chief's office, Ovina's office, possibly in the safes up on the 3rd floor.
There are safes.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Do you know how to access those safes? Keys, combinations. Bless you.
As far as I know, only a couple people have access to the safe. I'm
Of course.
not one of them.
You should be.
Do you know how we could possibly get access? If there's someone we need to talk to, maybe encourage to give us access.
I think keys and combinations are likely to be found in the chief's office, in the CEO's office, possibly in the CFO's office.
Okay.
This trouble with trolls you talked about earlier. Where is that? How does that work? Where's it kept?
It used to be a bank. The building used to be a bank.
Oh goodness.
The vault. The vault is where the troll lives. The old
see.
vault. On the 1st floor.
1st floor. And that's the way to open that. For security. Where's that kept? It's not just out in the open, is it?
No, it's a combination lock, and we have to open it, and the combination gets changed regularly, and we open it and we lead him out into the atrium a few hours after close, and he stays there for the night. And we have to use flames to get him down the hall and into the atrium and keep him in check. He provides front security essentially during the night because typically the night crew is smaller than the day crew, though Althea has been having more people work than normal.
Typically, how many people are on night crew?
Usually 6. But
Right.
Althea's bumped it up to a full 12. But we're still using the troll.
Of course. And that combination, you say you get the information of how it's changed.
Yes, the combination when the troll needs to be brought out for the evening, we're given the most updated combination, and then he's released and taken out.
Ah, day of. All right. Well, that's good. We don't want things happening with that troll. Goodness.
Okay.
For the DM.
Yes.
Never mind. The thing I sent you.
Okay.
One of the things to communicate back and forth,
Sending
sending
stones.
stone, are those easy to get like at a shop somewhere?
No, they are not. They are a magical item, and magical items are not easy to acquire. Now, you're wealthy enough to be able to get a license for enchanted items, and you it's possible that you could hunt down a set of sending stones, but they're not super readily available. There's not like you can't just go to like a Walmart, right, and pick up a pair of sending stones.
Nix is gonna excuse herself to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Is the chief usually there at night?
Yes. She's an elf, so she only and they pay her very well. She's in the building regularly and usually at night. She works the afternoon shift and the afternoon evening shift and the night shift. Then she takes the mornings off usually.
So she works every day, or is there a day during the 10 day that she is off?
I've never been there that she wasn't there.
While I'm in the bathroom, I would like to check his wallet
Okay.
and pocket watch.
Okay. You flip through his wallet. I'd say he's probably got 15 talents of cash in there. Not much else, honestly, in his wallet. This is
There's no token from like a family member or anything like that.
I mean, you find he's got sort of a really old, like, just written out like government issue just identification card, but this is pre like proper,
Right.
There's no like fancy plastic ID that we would have in the modern day, but it's it's a slip of like decent paper with his name and date of birth, like, and a physical description written on it in like some sloppy cursive, and it's a little bent and tattered and shoved into the wallet. You find also
Can I study that?
Sure.
Like,
yeah,
memorizing it.
Yeah, I assume so that you can attempt to forge this sort of document with your forgery kit. So yeah, you spend a little bit studying it. Pocket watch looks nice. This has it's a decent pocket watch. It's nothing insanely fancy, but it's nice. And it does have sort of initials on the back face of it, which the initials read VL. You would guess a family member of his.
I'm gonna put it back in. Go back to the table.
Great.
Brian, if we gave you a date, would you be able to provide us with the security schedule for that day? Like how far in advance do they schedule people?
Depends on the date, but probably. We get our schedules on Althea's just changed all of our schedules, but without asking. We get our schedules usually 2 weeks in advance.
Can I make a sleight of hand check to put stuff back in his pocket?
Sure.
Say you found it on the floor.
And I'd have to roll a deception, and I'm worse at that. 16.
Okay. Yeah, you slip it back in, no problem. He's pretty into it now, like emotionally, he's a little drunk. He's now he's sort of having that moment, that dawning moment of like, what am I getting myself into right now? Type deal.
And like I said earlier, sorry, just coming back. I don't know what I'm jumping into, but we're not looking to do anything bad. We're just looking to make sure that things are better for you and your coworkers.
Right.
Brian, if I can ask, why did you get into security? Like, what drew you to security? Hold on, stay with me.
I didn't, my family didn't have a ton of money growing up. But, I was always large for my age, and I knew that, one of the ways that you could get out of a poor situation was by signing up with the Zents. Sounded better than joining the army anyway.
I see.
So I was with them. I've been with the company for, most of my adult life, but came to Waterdeep, oh gosh, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, while ago, came to Waterdeep, and I don't know, sort of been stagnating since then.
And do you think that the Zents are a good company to work with? Like, do you feel like you're doing good for your community?
I never really thought a ton about community.
Sure. Right, yeah.
They
No, and
provided
that's
for me.
right.
Which
and
is
that's-
important.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
Nick says through gritted teeth.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's just that when I think of security, I think largely of protecting, I mean, you're protecting information, you're protecting people in the company, but it just doesn't seem like you're amounting to much what you're doing now. You're not really fulfilling everything that you could be fulfilling.
And it doesn't really seem like they're protecting you in return.
Right. It feels like you would be doing a lot more good in your position if you could help us help you. We're not, like we said, we're not asking for much. You already gave us such great information. And if that's all you can do for us, we are happy with that, and we will still compensate you nicely. But if there was some way that you could help us get into the building, or just one of us, just for a little bit so that we could get in there, all that we are going to do is make sure that the people who are responsible for the negative repercussions of the company that's been slanting you for so long are being accounted for.
Make one final persuasion check at advantage, because you all have been playing this very well so far.
I don't think that I'm the one that you want to do this.
You're the one who spoke.
One that did it.
17.
Respectable.
Yeah. Okay. When do you want me to get into the building?
Penny's going to turn to the side and go, very subtly, and then look back.
He doesn't even notice. He's just sort of staring at the table.
We still have some things that we're waiting on, some moving pieces that we have to nail down. But is there a way we could contact you in the next couple of days to get some more concrete information? Discreetly, of course.
Like say an owl.
Yeah. I live at this address, and he quickly jots down.
Would his address have also been on his ID card?
Yes. But so you've seen this address before, Nick's, but he basically on the paper of the message that Shannara left for him, he pulls like a pen out of like a breast pocket, quickly jots down an address in the trades board.
Can I take it, stare at it, and then rip it up? We don't want anything to trace back.
Eat it.
Sure.
The nachos are gone.
And Nyx didn't get any.
Okay.
You said he lives in the trade ward.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, we would provide you with a way to contact us, but as you can imagine, we have to be as discreet as possible. We don't even know, some of the moving pieces yet.
I don't even know her name.
I'll turn to Nyx and I'll be like making up a name on my spot. I'll be like, it's Paula, actually.
Sheila.
Sheila, I'll shake your hand. Sheila, I feel like we're making so many strides tonight.
You know what? It's been a big night.
Oh,
Perhaps
yeah.
we let Brian get back to his.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Evening.
Yeah. All right.
And if we understand, if you need an out,
Well, I just
take some time to process.
I'm willing to do this because you're saying that you're gonna make my job better for me and for the other people I work with. And nobody's ever told me that there was a chance of that before, but I do feel like I'm putting myself at risk here, and you did mention compensation.
Yes, we were good.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
did. In fact, my friend asked you what your worth is. So, Brian, what's your worth?
I'm gonna take out. I'm gonna take out 5 talents and look at him and add another and add another.
I feel like you should do this 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Add another.
Forever.
I wanna see. Okay, can I insight check him? Is he like? Is this way too low?
Insight check him. Yeah, make an insight check.
Natural 4.
Why?
24. 24.
Crazy crits tonight. This is great though. This is going to be very useful for you. 24. You get the sense from him that for him to put himself, he's put himself kind of like out on the line on this one.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely seems like he wants at least like a week's worth of his wages.
Isn't it like only 30 to 50?
Yeah, I'll give him a little. I'll smile, give him a little wink. I'll count out 20 and put it on top. I think that gets us to. Wait, I lost track of how many anothers I said. Let's say
Just a total of
40.
As you do that, his eyebrows shoot up. He said, "Yeah, that's good."
Oh, Brian, you never take the first deal.
Yeah.
I flick.
Penny's gonna
I
hit
flick one
Artemis.
more on.
Yeah, Penny's gonna hit Artemis and be like, he's helped us so much.
I'm going to say that I disagree, and I'm going to hand him 100, and I'm going to say if you help
In
us get
addition
into
to the
building-
40,
sure,
okay.
I'll give you another 100.
I'm never giving my money away ever again.
He's holding.
There's your new Lamborghini.
He's now holding 140 talents in his hand.
We just gave this guy his retirement.
Yep.
I will. Yes.
I want it to go smooth. Okay.
Let me know when you need me to let you in.
We appreciate your confidence and agreeability.
Yeah.
Brian.
Penny's gonna put her hand on Brian and be like, thank you so much for your help today. You're doing a lot of good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He gets up and sort of nods again at all of you and leaves, stumbling a little bit. Makes his way out.
Penny's gonna
100? Janara, what?
I already had a few hundred, that I took out 300 more just for this.
Artemis orders another drink and is a wee bit pouty.
As
the camera pans over to just Bowman across from Octavia, and there's just a stack of beer mugs that he's just been
going shot
sipping
for shot.
throughout this entire night, just like, oh, okay, well, whatever.
Penny's gonna turn to the table and be like, "That was my first date. I think it went really well."
I assume Bowman and Octavia come over at this point too.
Also, as Brian was leaving, I slipped the pamphlet that we used for the middle class to convince the middle class to
Okay.
join our fight.
Okay,
Into
another
his
sleight of
pocket.
hand check for slipping it in without him noticing.
15.
He's drunk. You slip it in.
I hope he's not so drunk that he forgets and just wonders why he got so much
I
money.
probably should have written it down somewhere, but
Oh, well. Some nights
when
I
he
go
gets an owl, he'll remember.
Oh, right.
Some
Do we
nights I
want
go
to-
get blacked out and lose money, but then some nights I black out and gain money.
Do we want to
Wait.
perhaps return somewhere where we know we won't be overheard? The Darling House or something else?
Probably.
All right. Meet you
Great.
there in, 10?
Give me 20.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to get
Okay.
across town to the Darling Manor, but yeah, you all
I'm going
depart.
to sprint.
You all depart one at a time,
Yeah.
spacing out your departures, so as not to be too terribly conspicuous.
I do want to talk to Sanctuary before
Okay.
I leave.
So you hang back. Yes, dear, you're one of Janara's friends, right?
Yeah, I'm Nyx, and I've my disguise is dropped.
Yeah.
So Janara mentioned that there was a possibility of a job here at some point in the future. Now, I have never served lots of people drinks. I mean, I've served my parents drinks, but that's not the same as this. But if you ever need something fixed or something built or something tinkered with or a clock or a toy or a bell above your door, I could be like the handy person around here if you're looking for one.
Freedom sort of, not freedom, Jesus, I keep doing that. Sanctuary, sort of,
And you don't have to answer right away. I still have another job. I just wanted to approach you about it.
So Sanctuary's horns are sort of curly ram's horns, style horns. He sort of grabs, it seems to be sort of like a fiddly type thing that he does. He sort of grabs like the very tip of one of his horns and just sort of rubs his fingers along it. A handy person might be nice. I usually have to, contract, hire other people to come in and do that sort of thing, and maybe.
I'm also a pretty quick learner, so if you wanted me to bus tables or clean or anything like that, I could
Okay.
do that as well. But I also don't like to come in places and offer myself a job, so I just wanted to introduce myself.
Janara told me you had sort of a bad work situation, that you might be looking for a new job soon. I'll see what I can do. If you do decide to leave your job, come find me and we can do a proper interview.
Okay.
And I can see what I can offer. I don't have a we don't make a ton of extra money around here. I can't necessarily guarantee that I'll be giving you the best wage in the world, but I will do my best to pay you what I can if I hire you.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for letting us use your bar tonight.
Of course. Janara's she's a great friend and a good person. So I trust her and whatever you all are up to. But, and he lowers his voice, may I just say, luckily it's a quiet night tonight, but may I just say that if you all are going to skirt the law in whatever you're doing, and I don't want to know any details, might I suggest that you, this is going to sound silly, you wear costumes of some kind, masks. That way, whenever you're doing the things that you're doing, like
Shady shit.
I don't know, he looks around again, say breaking into a company headquarters,
Shady shit.
you're wearing a disguise, not one that might fail if there's some sort of magical interference, and not one that relies on doing makeup perfectly every time. Something that you can put on consistently.
That's a good point. We're all very new at this, so I appreciate.
I can tell. I want to be clear.
Oh shit!
I've never done anything like that myself before, but I've been in
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
22.
It's very good. You think he's being honest with you right now. He's being very straightforward and honest with you, mostly because he knows you're Janara's friend. He trusts Janara a great deal. Even though I've never done anything like that before, I've been in the dock ward for a really long time, and there's lots of, criminal activity that goes on here, and it's just something I've noticed that's been beneficial to some criminals in this part.
Yes. Okay. We'll work on that.
Well, have a
Thank
good
you.
night, and like I said, if you need that job, let me know.
And I leave the 5 talons on the bar.
Thank you.
So Bowman decided to wait for Nyx
Okay.
outside of the bar. And
Okay.
he's waiting for Nyx.
Yeah. So after you finish this conversation, Nick, you step outside, and Bowman is waiting.
Oh my goodness.
Nyx,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Good.
I got a weird, bit of a request, or really about a query, really.
Okay.
You are part of the lower class, just like me, and have you heard anything about someone by the name Arnold Hathaway?
Yes. He does shady shit.
Yes. I, and partially Artemis, have been tasked to dispose of him of some sort. I want to do it clean, quiet, and I think someone of your talents may be use. Could I trust that you could help with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I met a really nice guy. He gave me a forgery kit, or I bought a forgery kit off of him. But he was in deep with Hathaway. So
There seems to be a lot of people
Yeah.
that are really suffering by his hand. So
Yeah.
I wanna try to help, I guess.
yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah.
I'll keep you informed.
Yeah. Let me know when you wanna go after him. Should we tell the others?
I'm not too sure about the reporters just yet.
Okay.
They seem a bit.
I mean, they ask a lot of questions.
Yeah. Kind of hard to keep things in hush when you're really working with news reporters.
Yeah. True. We can tell them after it's done. They can write a nice story about us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
The heroes of the cliff ward.
Yes.
Mm.
I like the sound of it.
Yes. Shall we go?
Yeah.
Great. Eventually, you all arrive at Janara's manor. Gather up in your usual, your usual spot around the dining room table, drinks and snacks, as usual. You're all there.
So I have a question. We got a lot of very good information tonight, and very nicely done, all. But it seems that there's a lot of things that need coordinated again. And every single day, they're going to continue having people and a chance to hide information. I'm just going to throw it out there. The night is not over. Why don't we go? Why don't we go bust down the door, show that I don't care if someone sees us. Maybe I've been drinking. But I don't care if someone really sees my face anymore, because honestly, if there are people like Brian's out there, right? And everything is that bad. I mean, he's got a pretty good job from what I'm gathering people's jobs are, right?
Yeah, he gets to make more than I do.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to cause any offense here, but oh my God, that still sucks.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So why, I don't know. Why don't we do something? Why don't we show a face? Why don't we burn a building down? Oh, I am tipsy, but you get what I'm saying. So
I mean,
there's a
we
troll.
do have to use open flames, so that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, there's a troll. Big deal. We took on all kinds of things in a sewer, and here we are. So there's a couple extra people. We have Bowman. He's worth like 12 on his own.
We fought one barracuda and 4 swamp fishy monsters things. These are 12 people and a troll. Presumably the head of security along with the 12.
Plus the head of security, and we don't know if they have an ability to contact people outside of the company if something were to happen, raise alarms, and then there's 12 more, and then more alarms are raised, and there's 12 more. Also, our face is on the front cover of the paper, and now I'm in jail, and now I don't get to write stories anymore.
You could write a book from jail.
It's beside the point. What I'm saying is that while I think
You could expose the treatment in the prisons. Oh my gosh, you should totally get arrested.
Nix, if we could have one time where we're not planning a revolution, just one moment, please, where we're not thinking about that. I swear.
Do you
I think
guys have those moments?
I think that is a wonderful sentiment. And I think that it's a really passionate sentiment. But I also think, and this is coming from me, that that may be a little bit naive. Like, of course, the rich white man wants to come in here and break down the building. And here we all are. I have work tomorrow. I have people in my life to take care of. And if we are trying to do this for the greater good, we burst down those doors completely unprepared, nothing behind us. We don't even have Brian to help us with just a little bit of information, and we all get caught, then we can't help anyone. Then we're just 6 people in jail.
Those 12
There's
security
7 of us.
officers might also
No,
not
never
be
mind.
people we want to fight. We might want to try to do this in a way where we're not dropping bodies of innocent people who are just doing their job.
Mhm.
I feel like the head of security may be someone we have to fight, but some of those security officers may be Brian's.
What if,
I mean, they do work for a terrible corporation, so I'm not.
but what if, I mean, we have kind of started the seeds of dissent in one officer. We may possibly be able to get more than one on our side with some time.
That's true.
That
This
would be
is-
much better than fighting 13 people and a troll.
That's
I
why
mean, don't we have a bit of a time from freedom? Bit of a time constraint.
29th is our plan, and today is the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we
There's a
have
little bit of a time.
we have less than a 10 day.
This is why I wanted to get the names of the security team working. So in the next few days, we can, I don't know, stop by their house and suggest they don't go to work on the 29th.
It's not a bad plan.
We could do that, or that might be a night we want to have a distraction set.
I can still organize. I can definitely have a protest organized by then, so that they're preoccupied with that.
Getting the chief out of the building would certainly help.
We could do both. We can drive people not to come to work and also have the distraction.
With bribing people, I'm just nervous that we won't be able to succeed like we did again tonight, and then it could backfire, and then they could.
I think the alcohol helped.
That's true.
Bowman, what do you think?
I think battles that are fought from passion end up with the most bloodshed. So if we go in tonight, guns a-blazing, chances are we're all going to die. Best case scenario, we'll go to jail. I think it's better if we get more information, go in silently, and just take care of business. Also, not to point out the troll in the room, but there's a troll that we have to take care of. And yes, it's afraid of fire, but it also can get enraged by fire. It's not necessarily going to just do what we want it to do. Where there's not 12 of us, there's really just 6 of us. And me, yes, I am like 12 people. Thank you, Artemis. I appreciate that compliment.
And don't get me wrong, I think, and Penny's gonna like do that thing where she like has to she's like almost choking a little bit. I think your heart's in the right place, no matter how misguided and naive and ignorant and cocky that heart is.
Been a few too far on that, Penny.
Okay, well, we're going with it.
Also, Sanctuary told me maybe we should get like costumes to wear when we go do this, so that like, I don't know about you guys, but I have this and one other thing to wear. So my clothes could be pretty identifiable. Even if we just got cloaks, that would be good. especially for Flashy Boy over here.
I can get people clothes.
Just dark cloaks that we can throw on real quick. Plain black cloaks. No fancy embellishments.
I'll allow it once.
Artemis comes up with just a sequin cloak.
But they're all black sequins.
It's the troll's second weakness, sequence.
Secretly,
then-
trolls are afraid of fire and fabulous.
Jesus.
So, next up then.
We get the cloaks, see who else we can talk to.
We need names, schedules.
We gotta contact Brian.
I'll send Lexa.
We should send him a cake. That's what my family does every time we say thank you to someone. My mom bakes a cake.
My owl's pretty strong, but I don't think she can carry a cake.
It could be an angel food cake. Those are light, right?
One cupcake.
A single cupcake. Wrapped in paper with a little bow tie.
We should give him a little
Or a
badge.
muffin. A muffin.
Mm,
A muffin's just a lame cupcake.
a gold star badge that says Waterdeep's #1 security officer.
You know, he didn't really have much in his wallet that like added personality.
Wait, what?
Guess we should have expected that.
Of course.
What?
Could you give it back?
Yeah. I just
All
memorized
of
his.
it?
Yeah. Guys, I even gave him something extra.
You gave him okay.
I gave him a pamphlet for the EPA.
Of course. Of course.
But I do have his address memorized. That's why I ate that piece of paper.
You can memorize things by eating them?
I just thought you were
Fucking
upset that you didn't
inside
get any
check.
nachos.
Yeah, I thought you were drunk.
No. I will admit I don't normally eat the things I memorize, but I then get started getting to work on recreating his ID
Okay.
card.
Okay.
I don't know if this is going to come in handy, but
Forgery tools, forgery kit check. D20 dexterity proficiency.
11.
It's passable.
Okay.
It's not,
It's not my best one.
this is, you're still new to like figuring out this forgery kit stuff. I mean, you've fiddled around with it before, but never, and you examined his ID and you did your best to study it, but you didn't have that long with it, but.
Okay.
Well, should we try to meet up tomorrow night again? Game plan. Maybe Brian will have gotten back to us about schedules. We can have someone look into costumes.
Yeah.
Same time, same place. I mean, I'm not trying to invite myself over to your house, Janara, but
This does seem to be the best meeting spot.
That works for me.
you should just give us all rooms here with how much we're here.
Or keys.
Might be helpful. Yeah, or keys. Yeah.
I would do that actually.
I was joking.
No, you couldn't do that. That would be cool though. But
I'm gonna call Joyce in, and I was like, Joyce, could you get copies of keys made for all my friends in case they need to come over and train?
I can, yes. I
Is
can
there
make
a
those.
door specifically to the basement? Because I feel like I don't need a key to your whole house. We've only known each other for like 10 days.
I can get the keys.
Janara's like, meh, it can be replaced.
I can have the keys made by a locksmith, probably by tomorrow.
Things move so fast around here.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
We've only known each other for 11 episodes in a one shot. Now we're moving in. No, I'm kidding.
All right.
Artemis is gonna hang back.
Okay. Yeah, everybody starts departing for the evening, but Artemis, you stay behind as everybody departs.
I'm gonna go to the portrait of the darlings.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand and look at it.
Okay. Yeah, Janara, Artemis is just sort of standing there looking at your family portrait, sort of pensively looking at it.
Watch him looking at it. I don't want to give too much about my family away. One shot is next week.
Well,
It's a
Let's,
teaser for the one.
A teaser.
yeah, it's a teaser. There you go. Get some teases on what Janara's relationship with her family is like.
How do they do it? I'll look over at her.
What?
The last adventurers. How do you do that now?
They follow where they feel like the most interesting things are.
Things just seem so very interesting around here. And yet no one seems to be doing anything about it.
No. But they don't really find what's going on where I am interested usually.
So why don't you just do it yourself? I guess you do, to an extent.
Trying.
Anyway, see you tomorrow, I guess.
See you tomorrow.
Chug glass of the drink.
Great.
Hum, walking out the door.
Artemis, you head out. Head back home. To your hotel. All of you, yes, Bowman.
Bowman wants to go to Butcher's Butcher and see, try to find Vinny.
Okay. The Butcher's Butcher is, by the time you get there, closed for the evening. And unlike previous times, the door has not been left open for you. As that was an arrangement, but
I'm just gonna knock profusely.
nobody answers.
Okay. I'm gonna go home.
You all head to your homes for the evening, thinking, wondering. For some of you, this is sort of an eye-opening experience, particularly for you, Artemis. But for most of you, you hadn't previously had any specific plans to engage in revolutionary actions, but now you are on the brink of it.
I'll get them all.
You get home, it's have a sort of a fitful night's rest. You have difficulty sleeping. When you get up in the morning, come downstairs, a little leery-eyed, your father, Peter Cresswell Sr., is sitting there, having his breakfast before heading off to the clock factory where he works. And he looks up at you and says, Penny, your brothers are coming back to Waterdeep.
When?
They're getting restationed here. Immediately after midwinter.
It'll be great to have them in the house again.
Yes.
Is everything okay with them? Is there a reason they're coming home early?
They're fine. I am getting moved into early retirement at the factory.
Okay. Was that your choice?
No. But it does mean money is going to be tight. So your brothers asked for redeployment to Waterdeep to help with the bills.
Right. I can help too. I can, I didn't get a promotion at work, but I'm kind of working on a bigger story. So maybe I can renegotiate some things. If you need me to pay more, I can do that.
Yes. Thank you. I working at the factory has allowed me to barely stay on top of mortgage payments. The bank has asked me and multiple other homeowners in the neighborhood for full payment on our mortgages in a 10 days time, or be evicted.
Can they do that?
Apparently. We may have to sell some of your mother's jewelry.
I don't think we have to do that. I mean, we still have a 10-day. I can do something. I'm sure I can do something.
I don't want to do anything until your brothers get home. Hopefully they can get us enough money, but
I mean, it's a house. What could it cost? Like 100 talons?
no, it's quite a bit more than that, Penny.
Well, when the twins get home, we We can figure it out, I guess.
We'll have a family meeting when they get home and see what we can do. But if you have save your money, maybe we can do it. But I don't see how we get out of this without selling some.
We'll figure it out. We have to figure it out. I mean, it's our house. I grew up in this house. Mom read to us at the kitchen table in the mornings there. Her garden's still out there. We'll figure it out. I'm sorry about your job.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Today's my last day, so I better get going.
Penny's gonna give him a little kiss on the cheek.
And he pats you. Like, thank you. And he heads out for. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and end tonight's episode.
Whoa.
Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you all very much for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your favorite part of the episode, favorite part of this show so far. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at RollersGuildDND. And obviously check out the podcast if that's the version of if that is a version of the show that sounds appealing to you. We really appreciate all the support that you can give us. Have a good night.